Well, today there will be like 12 students. Two will be absent. I think 12, it's pretty like it's easier to practice and also study as well. Okay. So while we wait for the others, I'm just going to share my screen and we will begin with our lesson. Okay. You guys can turn on your cameras while we wait for others. Can anyone guess what we will be learning? I think it's pretty obvious. We already finished first speaker, second speaker. So today we will move to third speaker. Here, this is, I think everyone can see my screen. All right, so our lesson today is going to be on strategy and third speaker. We will be having two practice, I think, because last time we learned about rebuttals, but then not a lot of us get to practice that. So we will have a warm up instead of a question of the day. So this warm up is pretty simple. It is like, we're gonna practice on rebuttal. Here, I have this motion. This house supports the narrative that money can't buy happiness. And this is an argument on the negative side. So in here, I have all four parts: the point, the context, the mechanism, and the impact. Okay, I'm gonna ask like one to two people to read this argument, and then you guys will have like 5 minutes to prepare for your rebuttals. Okay, and then each of us are going to present our rebuttal towards this argument. So yeah, I'm going to ask one person to read the point and the context, and the other to read the mechanism and the impact, so that everyone can, catch up on this argument. Okay, how about who wants to read? Just reading. Okay, Neil, you can read the point and the context.
Okay, so the motion, this house supports the narrative that money can't buy happiness. Argument, negative. Point, money gives you access to necessities in life, granting individuals opportunities to thrive personally and professionally, which in turn translates to immense happiness. Context, the foundation of happiness comes from living a prosperous and well-rounded life. Therefore, one can expect a low-income household without food on the table to feel happy for a long period of time. Things like education, food, and even time spent with loved ones all need money.
Mhm. So that's the point, and I have the context. I'm going to ask another person to read the mechanism and the impact. How about Moon? You can just read these two. Can you see my screen? You can read the mechanism and the impact, these two parts. Oh, I'm not sure if she can hear me. Can you hear me? Tu. Yeah, that's your English name, Moon. But yeah, Tu. Can you read the mechanism and the impact?
Okay, mechanism. The narrative suggests that without money, it's unlikely people will experience happiness long term. Money can buy things that indispensable to humans. Money also gives people pleasure from buying things they need, including more time with family members. Impact. The narrative motivates people to work harder to provide for their families. People can receive an education with money. Money gives them overall life satisfaction.
Okay. So yeah, that is the argument. You guys can ask me any questions about the argument. I'm going to explain a bit on the motion. This is like a support. Like after this lesson, and then like from week 7 to week 11, we will learn different types of motions. So this is called a support motion, and it's like a narrative. Là một cái lời được truyền miệng. For example, we always say, oh, if we have money, we'll be happy. Or people say, oh, money cannot buy you happiness. So that is like a narrative that people usually tell others. Okay. So do you guys have any questions on this argument? I'll give you like 30 seconds to read again the argument, and then we're gonna have 5 minutes to prepare the rebuttals for this argument. Okay, to practice for the next lesson. I mean, the previous lesson. Okay, I guess there are no arguments, so I'm also going to send this picture, or I can copy. Yeah, I can copy this whole thing and send it in Zalo. Yeah, just send it. So we're gonna have 5 minutes. Actually, only 3 minutes, but I'm gonna give us 5 minutes. Okay, we can prepare the rebuttals for this one. Alright, 5 minute is over. I hope you guys can prepare the rebuttals. It's only a short rebuttal, so don't worry too much. I already created the wheel, so I'm just gonna spin the wheel, I guess. I will try to there's music though. I will make some music. It's going to be random, so I don't know what music it's going to be on. Can you guys hear the music? Oh no. Well, it's Helena. I will turn on the music for the next wheel. Okay. So Helena, you can go first and present your rebuttal towards this argument.
Okay, but can you make the slide bigger? I can't see it very clearly.
Can you speak louder? What is it?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, can you open the slide bigger so I can see it more?
Does this work?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you can turn on your mic and just, rebut this argument whenever you're ready.
Okay. So the first argument here, I see that money gives you access to necessities in life, allowing individuals to thrive personally and professionally, which translate into immense happiness. But this was a false equivalence. Uh, the opponent's team ground assumes that because money satisfies necessities, so it's also create happiness like that. But meeting basic needs prevents suffering, but preventing suffering is not the same as creating happiness. And happiness is an emotional state which influenced by relationship, purpose, mental health, and personal fulfillment. Is not simply by having enough money. Um, and the context is unrealistic. Like they said that the foundations of happiness comes from living a prosperous and well-rounded life, but that doesn't put money in the calls. Many people live prosperous life because they have supported family, meaningful careers, or just strong communities. Money may be present, but this is only one factor among many, not the defining factor.
Right. Thank you, Helena, for your rebuttals. I think it's really clear. So first you said that you define what is happiness, right? Happiness is an emotional state. Just because you have enough money doesn't mean you will instantly be happy. I think this is good. Like here in the mechanism, it says that money gives people things they need, like a house, food, or something. I think it will be better if you tell me how having enough money isn't related to being happy. You can say that the feeling that when you have enough money is only short term. Maybe now you feel happy, but maybe later you will not. And how does that happen? Kind of like that. But yeah, overall, good rebuttals. Thank you, Helena. Okay, I'll try to, I think this time there will be music. Okay, Thư, you're next. That was random, so I don't know what music it's going to be on. Okay, Thư, you can share your rebuttals to the class.
Okay. Well, the negative beliefs that money gives you access to necessities in life, granting individuals opportunities to drive personality and professionally, which turns translate into immense happiness. However, while money is essential for meeting the basic needs and providing comfort, it does not equate to happiness. True happiness stems from within the nurture through relationships, experience, and personal fulfillment. This house supports the narrative money can't buy happiness in placing the importance of non-material sources of joy. Um, this is the end of.
Right, thank you too for that rebuttal. I think you do have ideas. Like you said that true happiness comes from, relationship, personal fulfillment. I think it'll be better if you give examples. Like what are those? Maybe it's like the time that you spend with your family, when you hang out with others, or when you stay at home watching movies. Like, yeah, you can give examples and you can show how they are different from just having money and buying stuff, like what you said, materialistic. Yeah, so like giving more examples would be good. And you can also follow like the what, why, how. And even if you can like, even if maybe you do buy things, that's not happiness. Like, I think it'll be better if you explain to us how this is not happiness. Because in this argument, this person said, oh, when you have things, you will be happy because your life is better. So yeah, I think like you can dig deeper, but overall you do have good ideas. Okay, so I will not spin the wheel. Tu, you can choose the next person that you want. You can choose any person randomly.
Okay. Um,
Or you can choose a number and I will choose for you. The number will be random as well. So choose a number
or
from
you
1 to
or you
10.
can like spin the wheel because
Okay, sure. Just this once, I think. Okay. Tom, you can give a short rebuttal for this argument if you're there.
All right, I'll try.
Yeah, just try your best. Don't worry.
Scared. So it is said that the foundation of happiness comes from living a prosperous and well-rounded life. Well, not really. Happiness is actually a connection of the souls, and it has nothing to do with living such life. I mean, people can have conversations, people can make jokes. That makes that will make them happy. And I see here that the argument says a low-income household without food on the table. Uh, sorry. One can expect a low-income household without food on the table to feel happy for a long period of time. What if? What if they're grateful with what they have now? Are they happy? So yes, that is my point.
Thank you, Tom. I see you do have a point there. Like a lot of good points, like connections, right? I think you can provide examples. What are those connections? And also when you said, like, what if these low-income household, they're grateful for what they have? I think it's also a good point. You can say, but how likely will they be grateful? Right? So you can say like something like that, like dig deeper into what you're saying because you do
I
have a
mean,
point. Yeah.
I mean, If they live another day, they're grateful for it.
Sure.
If they
That's
survive
what I
another
mean.
day, they're grateful for it.
Good.
If they can
So
still
yeah.
talk, they can still walk, they're grateful for it.
So you should say that previously. But yeah, it's a good, mechanism. You can try to talk more how being grateful makes them happy, right? Like make that connection. Sometimes we have to connect it back to the motion. But yeah, thank you, Tom, for speaking up. Okay, I'm just gonna choose to be quicker. How about Lee? You can go next.
So about my rebuttal, the negative side argues that money can buy happiness because it can pay for most things we need in our life, such as education, comfort, and also times for our loved ones. So, however, money only buys the conditions around happiness, not the happiness itself. So some of the most meaningful things in our life, such as love, trust, or inner peace, or maybe real life experience, can't be directly portrayed. Money is a tool, and works indirectly. For example, you can buy a vacation when you feel stressed, or you can set an appointment with doctor when you feel stressed. But the true peace of your mind is not full when you experience that moment. Our argument better explain the difference between temporary satisfaction and lasting happiness. The debate is not about whether money is useful, but whether money itself can create happiness. So happiness mainly comes from emotional and psychological fulfillment. So I have to say that money alone is insufficient. Even if money improves living standards, as your side said that, but it does not make it the source of happiness. Many rich people also feel unhappy why they can buy anything. Yeah, that's my rebuttal.
All right, I really like your rebuttal. So wait me a bit. Okay, I really like your rebuttals. It's really clear. So what I like best is that you redefine the scope, right? Because as you can see, if you look closely, this argument, it's not really showing us how money connects to happiness. It's only about, oh, money is very useful. It buys us things and we're happy because we have things. But like when you look at it, it's clearer. So Lee pointed that out, which is good. I think that like if you improve, there's just one teeny tiny bit, the point in which you say, um, money is only buys you the condition, not the true happiness. So you can say how, like by spending time with others or peace, how does that lead to happiness? But yeah, I think just that point and overall, pretty good. Thank you. Okay, so Neil, you can go next.
Okay, so it said that money gives you access to necessity life, renting individuals, but when we wonder about is that real happiness, even that foundation of happiness come from living prosperous and well-rounded life, but is that true for majority of people? Of course, money can buy things like education, food, time spent with loved one. Yeah, but like some things that money cannot buy. Money can buy medicine, but not health. Money can buy girlfriends, but not real love, not real family. So like, and and they say that the narrative suggests that without money, uh, it's unlikely everyone will experience happiness long term. But if we have money long term, this doesn't mean we have happiness. Yeah. So let's take an example of Putin. Vladimir Putin. He is the president of Russia. He has everything. He has everything. He has uh he has the respect from every Russians on his country. But is his happiness? He's always feel that he's lonely. He have two daughters, but both of them do not spend do not spend a lot of time with him. And his wife had like passed away very long years ago. And the opponent's mechanism say that money also gives people pleasure buying things, including more time with family members. Okay, so what about Elon Musk? He has 13 childs, I think now 14 child or something, but he always spent his time for his company and his dream one day people can go to Mars. He doesn't spend any time with his family, even with his mom. When his mom come to Elon Musk's house to like spend time with him, she Elon Musk just always talk about business, always talk about work. So money can give everything you want in this world. Money can buy everything for you, but not real happiness, not the happiness itself. Yeah, that's my rebuttals.
All right. Thank you for your rebuttal. I like the examples. So yeah, like the point of the example is to show that like sometimes rich people do not necessarily feel happy, right? So yeah, and I like that you say talk about the short term and the long term. Later we will also learn about it because like short term and long term is part of strategy in debate as well. Okay. Thank you, Neil. Next person, how about I don't know who to choose. Helen, you can go next.
I think like to in order like the impact said that in order to make more money, I know the impact said that the narrative motivates people to work harder to provide for their money families. So if they want more money, they have to work hard. Therefore, they can continue to work regardless of their bad health conditions or as well as weather conditions. For example, an electrician risked working under like a storm to repair a household power line because he was offered twice his normal fee, so he doesn't care about the dangerous weather as well as their health condition after working under heavy rain. So I think yeah, it can impact negatively in their health and yeah health.
All right, thank you, Helen. I like the example as well. If there's one thing you can improve, you can give me a point first, and then you give an example for that. But yeah, the example shows how, people can become greedy with the money they have and doesn't really lead to happiness because, if you have money, you will always want more of it. Okay, thank you for that rebuttal. Next person, how about we? You can go next.
Okay. So money may ease life's struggles, but it doesn't guarantee happiness. Once basic needs are met, extra wealth has little effect on well-being, as joy comes from relationships, purpose, and self-acceptance. Many wealthy people remain stressed or lonely. Showing prosperity isn't the same as like contentment. Believing money buys happiness risks fueling materialism, and neglecting like emotional health. While true satisfaction, like it is rooted in intrinsic fulfillment. Thank you.
Yeah, so like your argument is good as well. I think the feedback is like basically the same. If you want to improve, you can also look at the impact. You can rebut this impact, right? Because like in the impact, it says people can receive education with the money they have. So like with education, they will be successful. And when they're successful, then they will have like the money and the life that they deserve. So you can also rebut like each part to be equal. Yeah, thank you, Lee, for that. Your points are really potential. Okay, next, Hun, you can start.
Yes. So I think the opposite has confused money with happiness. We agree that money is important as it helps us meet our basic needs. However, meeting those needs only make life easier. It doesn't automatically make people happy. True happiness comes from meaningful relationships, good mental health, and also a sense of purpose, which money cannot buy. The opposition also says that money can buy pleasure, but pleasure is only temporary. If money could really buy happiness, rich people would never feel lonely or stressed, but it's clearly not true. Therefore, the opposition has only shown that money brings comfort, not happiness. So that's all my side.
Great, thank you, Hen. Again, was really good as well. If you can improve, you can try to tell us how comfort is different from happiness. Because if I'm in the negative, I can easily say, well, if we're comfortable, that's basically, a sense of happiness already because we are comfortable with what we have, right? So you can like identify how comfort is different from happiness. Okay. Um, Next, how about Iris? You can also share your rebuttal.
Okay, so I will give rebuttals for the whole point, context, mechanism, and impact. Okay, the first thing in the point, it say that money can give access to necessity in life, so it bring about happiness. Actually, I agree that money can buy these necessities. However, they are just the foundation of our life, but not the happiness. Uh, there's also a research about the prosperity, income, and happiness. It say that one basic needs are met, additional money will have a diminishing effects on happiness. I would say that the income and happiness correlation is a U shape like this. It will increase and yeah, it will increase and at some point it will decrease. So actually money can buy these necessities, but not the same as happiness. About the context, it say that the poor cannot stay happy. Uh, but I think the motion is not about poverty or wealth. It is about if the money can buy happiness. So there are some people who are rich, but they also in depression. And in contrast, some ordinary income families can still live meaningful and happy lives. So I believe that money is not is not the only if sufficient condition for happiness. About the mechanism, it say that money can buy us many things like education, food, free time, and family experience. So it can bring about happiness, but it just can't purchase the conditions. Actually, education, food, free time, or family experience are just the conditions that can support happiness. It is the chance so that we can have happiness, but it is not the same because happiness depends on the whole synthesis of relationships, our meaning of life, our mental health, our love, our belongingness, the feeling of belongingness. So it cannot simply bought by money. Yeah. And about the impact, okay, so this narrative can motivate people to work harder to provide them more for their families, but it can also give them pressure. So um, it can make them sacrifice their family, their health, and even their relationships just for more money. It is not happiness. Yeah. So I believe that um, I believe that it is this narrative is not quite valuable. Simply that money can bring about happiness. We should think about others. Yeah, like our family, our relationships, our health, and other conditions. To say that it is not just because we have money. Yes, and that is all.
All right, thank you so much for your rebuttal, right? I think this is really similar to the last time, like I said. We should not only rebut the point, we should rebut all parts of an argument. So Iris, she rebutted all parts, and that was really clear. Like maybe if there's one suggestion I would give is that you can further tell me why pressure is so bad, right? Because when we study hard, we are pressured to get good grades. We also feel really tired. Sometimes we don't even sleep. But then at the end, maybe we get good results. So yeah, you can talk about how pressure isn't correlated to happiness. But other than that, I think like the rebuttal was clear. Maybe you can link it a little bit instead of making it into separated parts. Like now I will rebut the context and now I will rebut mechanism. You can rebut the context and you can talk about how this doesn't lead to the below impact. Kind of like that, like link it a little bit, but that's it. Okay, thank you. I think we have two more. So how about Sarah? Are you ready to give your rebuttals?
Can I have like 30 seconds?
Okay, I'm gonna ask like Sunny if she's here. Oh, she's not here anymore. Okay, you can have 30 seconds. Sarah, you can start when you're ready.
Okay. So, firstly, we cannot deny that money could offer you many opportunities to a prosperous life, but we cannot entirely coin it to happiness. So I believe that the negative team is like viewing happiness in a wrong conception, as I believe money is only the tool that could actually foster the happiness for some people. Now, it really depends on the definitions of each person's how they have enjoyment for life. So I believe happiness could also always come from your perspective. When people talk about how foundations of happiness could come from a prosperous and well-rounded life, I believe that, for example, a wealthy family yet with broken relationship may not actually experience the true happiness, because happiness only comes from appreciation. If you buy a trip but you still feel unappreciated just because of small detail, that's not happiness at all. But if you just actually have a small field trip to a like your friend's house and you truly appreciate that, then it actually could turn to happiness without the requirement of money.
So I believe that after all, it all lies in the perspective. And I believe that money could not buy happiness at all. They're just only the tool that could actually offer people a prosperous life as they want. Thank you.
Right, thank you for your rebuttal. It was also really clear, and you provided something which we will actually be learning later on, which is a trade-off. Like, I mean, like in some debate, we cannot deny stuff. Especially in this one, we cannot deny that, okay, money gives you a lot of things, and sometimes things that you need and things that you will feel happy for. But how is it not in the majority of cases? I think we will get straight to our lesson. The reason why we did this warm-up is, to understand more, and later we'll understand a bit better. Okay. So again, for those who are late, the lesson is on strategy and third speaker. Firstly, what is strategy in debate? Strategy in debate is simply your overall game plan to win. Là cái chiến thuật của mình ấy. Like how will you win this debate? And a strategy usually includes these things. 5. Number 1, we have a framing. Oh, Jade, like your mom said that you are busy and you will not study. So I don't really know if you're here or not. But yeah, you can give your rebuttals if you have it. Sorry for that, because your mom said you cannot study. Are you there?
Just
Okay,
turn back to the previous line.
sure. So if you want, you can still give a quick rebuttal here and then we will move on.
So I will support the opposition side. Um, Let me clearly define that happiness is not only about love and like sharing, caring stuff. Happiness is just a state of you being happy. That's all. Like really simple. Like you eat a good food, you feel it's delicious, then you're happy, and you go to your friend's house, you play with him in a game, you win, you're happy. That's it. That's up. Like happiness is not just about love or like family caring stuff or reunion and everything. Happiness is just a state of that you being happy in any possible circumstances. So so I can't deny that money cannot buy directly the happiness because happiness does not have a price tag or it can isn't a kind of commodity that you can buy. But if you don't have money, then it's pretty much almost impossible for you to be happy. For example, if you want to eat this food, no, you don't have money. How can you buy it? And if you want to go on the street, do you want to go on a vacation? You don't have money, you cannot do that. If you love these people, you want to buy them present, you want to treat them well, you still need money too. And even though you say that money can't buy health, then health cannot really you cannot really say the opposite thing. You can buy, you have to trade health for money, and when you want to keep your health, you have to spend money. So you always need money, and money is everything, almost everything. So when you this basic stuff right here, when you let's compare to food because I have an eating spirit. Um, when you buy food like pre-made food outside, um, then when you pre-made food, it's not gonna be as good as food that you make home alone, like you buy ingredient and you come home and do it. Same with money and happiness. When you have someone, you buy them, like you treat them, you give them money and they treat you. That's not really true love. Same with a pre-made processed food. But when you have true love and that people are treated well with your money and you love them and stuff, that like how say money can actually buy happiness indirectly, and though cannot do it directly, but it is still in a form of trading off money for happiness. So I think that I will oppose this motion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. You're not really rebutting. You're basically supporting, but that's fine, I guess. Like you're opposing this one. Yeah, it's like a paradox, like what Neo said, because I mean, if we say money cannot buy us, I mean, like it's 50-50, right? So later, what we will do is that we have to weigh. Because in a debate, when both sides they provide equal argument with equal impact, what we need is weighing, which we will look right now. Okay, so there are 5 things in strategy. We have already learned framing and setup. We learned rebuttals. We learned about stakeholders. So we have 2 left, which is weighing and trade-off. So now we will go through each of them. Yeah, those are just guidelines for us to figure out a good strategy. Because, in debate, we cannot have 100 arguments in a debate. I think like mostly just 2 or 3 argument. That is why during the preparation time, we must ask ourselves, what is our strongest point? And how do we make it sound like this is very important? Because sometimes argument and debate can get like washed away and then people might miss your argument. Number 3, what is our weak point? Because like no matter which side you are, there will always be a disadvantage. So you must find out what is your weak point in a debate and how can you actually rebut that weak point? And can we defend against the weak point through framing or through arguments? Okay, and to do this, number 1, we will be needing trade-off, which trade-off means cái sự đánh đổi, right? So what is it? This is the Vietnamese meaning, but in more detail. So firstly, those are the examples. We are okay with X suffering if Y will benefit from either we agree, propose, or oppose the motion. This usually requires a lot of explanation. Okay, so I'll have an example first for us to understand. This house would ban homework, right? There will be a trade-off. If I'm on the affirmative side, I will have to make a trade-off. We will say, okay, we are okay with student having no homework, no reviewing after lesson. We are okay with that. But in return, we will get something better. So in return, maybe we will have something like students will have, I don't know, like this is only an example, okay? Self-study skills, or in return, students will have more time with their family members. They will not be spending 4 hours on their homework, maybe only 30 minutes to review again, right? So that's a trade-off, meaning you are willing to give up something in return for something else. That's it. So let's have an example. We have a debate on GPS tracking. I think it's homework before. So again, this house as parents would use GPS tracking on our children to ensure their safety. Okay, so I'm gonna ask 1 or 2 people. Can you tell me what is a trade-off on affirmative or negative? So you can choose one side and you can tell me what is a possible trade-off on that side and how do you know? Right? Because in some debate, there will be a trade-off, and sometimes it is better to acknowledge the trade-off rather than just ignore it. Because if you ignore it, things will get worse. If you acknowledge it in the beginning, normally the first speaker will say this. Of course, trade-off will not happen in every debate, but in some, we will have it. So I guess I'll give you like 30 seconds to 1 minute. And if you have an answer, you can just share your raise your hand virtually so I can call. And maybe you can choose affirmative or negative. And you can tell me what is a trade-off on affirmative? What is something that affirmative or negative doesn't have or they are willing to give up, but in return, they have something better, kind of like that. Okay, so you can ask me questions if you don't understand, but if you do, you can just think first, and then I will call at 54. Okay. Okay, it's 54. So anyone wants to share? It's only like short answer. No need to explain. Just share what you think is a trade-off. Anyone? Okay, Iris, you can try.
Okay, so I think there's two trade-offs here. The first one is about safety or privacy. Actually, I propose the point. I think that we should use GPS tracking on our children to ensure the safety. Maybe we can lose, like, I mean, the children, they will have less privacy, and because parents will know where they are anytime, anywhere. However, the opposite one, what we gain is quite bigger than that. We will have faster response if any wrong things happens. I mean, in emergencies like kidnapping, trafficking, human trafficking, get lost or accidents happen to the children, and we also feel, and I mean the parents also feel more peace in their mind. Huh? So I think I also want to weight that because I mean the children should prioritize. We should prioritize the safety more than privacy in this situation, because maybe they are still minors. They are more vulnerable than adults. So we should prioritize safety over privacy in this situation. The next one, I would like to talk about independence and supervision. Like the children will feel that they are monitored anytime and anywhere. Maybe they will feel a little bit annoyed from with their parents. However, I think that if we have these GPS tracking on the children, they will have more freedom, even when they do not think about it, because parents will become more willing to let the children go outside to do something by themselves, to even travel independently, I guess. So actually, I think that in this situation, we can, if we use GPS, we may have to let the independence of the children go away, but we can guarantee that they are safe and they can be supervised from far away, so that we can give them some independence. Yes.
Right, thank you. I think you just basically answered these three questions here, but it's really good, right? This one we will look at later. But yeah, that is the trade-off. And I think Iris just explained how, okay, sure, maybe the children, they will not have privacy. That is something we do admit, but we do believe that safety is more important than the privacy. And then we explain how safety is more important. Kind of like that. So does anyone wants to provide a trade-off for the negative side, if you have the negative? Or you can also provide affirmative if you have it. Depends on you. Anyone wants to share? If not, we will do this. Then like I have to add the names for those who do not have the names here. But I'll just call to be quick. I think that works better. Okay, how about two? You can share a trade-off for any side you want.
I'm sorry, but can you repeat the question?
It's on the screen. So this is the motion, and then you just choose a side, and you tell me what is a trade-off on that side that you have chosen.
Um,
Or you can think and I can call on others.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else? I'm trying to call on like one more person. You can raise your hand. Okay, Neo, you can share.
Okay, so I'm gonna go negative. I'm not sure about my answer because this motion is kind of hard for me. Yeah, but actually, I'm a GPS user, and I would express my feelings about GPS and also trade off in this debate. And sometimes, a lot of children, especially teenagers like me, feel kind of annoying when we lost privacy. Yeah, but and sometimes safe safe is really important. Is that parents can tracking where you are because because parents you because you have to understand for your parents and the adults that raised you when you was a child. They's always worried about you. You think that's all that's normal, but your parents always think like, where are my sons? Where's my sons? Where's him? I'm really worried that he goes along with his friends. Yeah, parents always have the have the worrying about where are you and are you safe. So so sometimes we can lock privacies, but we have the safe barriers. But we have the safe barriers that save us from accident, say from kidnapping, and parents can know exactly where you are. And it's also, I think, it also increased the trust between parents and the kids. Yeah, that's it.
Right. I think that you both tell me the trade-off and you also explain at the same time. But yeah, it's also good as well. So we can lose privacy, but at the end, maybe we can gain trust. We gain trust from safety. Okay, thank you, Neo. So yeah, basically that's how you determine trade-off. And those are three questions to help you. You can like ask yourself these three questions and explain. So here's how we explain trade-off. Number one, why is Y more important than X? In this case, why is safety more important than privacy? Maybe an example. Question two, why the extent of harm isn't that big? Isn't that big? So like why is the harm of losing privacy isn't really that big, right? You can think about, okay, the harm of like the harm of not getting rescued on time is even bigger than the privacy problem. And you can also talk about how your side can solve the privacy problem. It's not that bad. Like it's not like parents will know what you're doing. They will only know where you are, and that's it. And the third question, why is the benefit that Y gets so much more important? So yeah, in that case, what are the benefits of when we ensure safety for our kids? So that's why we have a trade-off. I think trade-off will happen in debates where we have a disadvantage. Not every single debates, in some, and it's up to you to determine if we really need a trade-off. Okay, that's it. Any questions, or we can move on. Today we have quite a lot of material, and I think we will not be able to finish on time. So I think we will just skip this part and we will move to third speaker. And then next time we will maybe move back to that point. Okay, because later we will have a practice related to third speaker as well. So yeah, introduction to third speaker. So in debate, we call the third speaker, or we also call them whip speaker. I don't know why, but that's how you call them. And then the purpose of the third speech is to compare the material of both sides. I know that sometimes we also summarize, but a third speaker, they do not only repeat again the materials of the first and second speaker, they also compare and they answer a very important question. Why is our side better? And the third part, remember, in the third speech, you cannot add new argument. Okay, but what you can do is that you can add new mechanism, new examples, and new characterizations. So for example, if your first and your second speaker, they have an argument, right? You can further explain it in your third speech if you have more examples or new mechanism, but you cannot provide like a brand new argument. That's some notes on third speaker. Okay. 5-10 seconds to look and we will move to the next part. Okay, I think we can move to the next part. Yes, that's why the most important part in a third speech is clashes. I forgot to put the Vietnamese meaning. Oh, here's the Vietnamese meaning. Okay, so clashes is tức là cái điểm xung đột ấy. So later I'll explain it below. A whip speech usually consists of 2 to 3 clashes, and a clash is a bone of contention that both sides are arguing about in the debate. Tức là nó là một cái phần mà cả hai đội đều đang cố chứng minh là đội nào sẽ tốt hơn ấy. Okay, let's look at the example below. So I think the example will work. Again, the motion, this house with bad homework. Here's a clash. Does banning homework result in better studying outcomes? The affirmative will say, yes, it does. The negative will say, no, it doesn't. See, they are arguing on this question. This team says yes, that other team said no. That is what we call a clash. Something that both teams are arguing about. Or it can also be something that both teams wants to solve. So maybe a clash can also be like this. Which sides can help the students? Right? Because the affirmative, they say, oh, on our side, we help the student. The negative, they also say, on our side, we also help the student because we give them homework. See, both sides are are convincing us that we are helping the student. That is the clash. So that's why in the third speech, you as the third speaker will provide the clash and you will prove why your side wins. Okay, next part. So those are some tips for clashes. Just some parts, not really important. Firstly is that you have to make your clashes distinct. Là làm nó mới. They should not be about like similar ideas, right? Because both sides are arguing about something. Number 2 is that you have to word them fairly. Tức là phải nêu nó công bằng ấy, right? You cannot be biased for one side. You cannot be biased for your side because that's biased and you cannot prove anything. So it's best to just provide a really fair claim and provide explanation on why you win that. And number 3 is signpost. Like at the beginning of the speech, you list the clashes. Okay, so others will know, oh, there will be these clashes in your speech. Signpost means mình sẽ nói ở trước mỗi cái đề mục ấy, mình sẽ có đề mục cho những phần mình nói. Yeah, that's signpost. Okay, so those are 3 tips. I think that works. So overall, a takeaway is that you just, as the third speaker, being a third speaker is different because in the prep time, you cannot prepare anything. I mean, you do prepare, but like you don't have argument. You cannot repeat arguments. So that's why, but you can prepare rebuttals to use in your speech. And then during the debate, you have to listen and you think about, okay, what are the clashes that may happen in the debate? So clashes can be in many forms. It can be a yes-no question, it can be a phrase, or it can be a which side question. So you can like choose anything. These 3 are the same, basically the same thing, but like different ways to phrase it. For example, a yes-no question. So we say, does banning homework result in better studying outcomes? A phrase is study effectiveness. That's it. So if I'm the third speaker, I will say, the first clash in this debate is study effectiveness. The reason why our side we have study effectiveness is because something. And then the last way that you guys can choose is which side. So which side benefits the students the most? So yeah, clashes can be in many forms. Although they're the same thing, you can choose one of them. And there are also more, but like these are the three most common ways to, form a clash. Okay, you can ask any questions if you want. I think no questions, right? Okay. So the next part is what to do, right? Because how can you identify clashes as the third speaker? We haven't learned weighing. We will do that next lesson because we don't have time. But yeah, clashes. So those are 4 steps, right? Because as I've said, as the third speaker, like for the first and second speaker during prep time, we can prepare argument, but third speaker cannot do that because they're not supposed to provide argument, right? So here, firstly, during the preparation time, you can think in advance some preemption. Like you can think about what will the other side say. And you can also predict. Like mình có thể đoán luôn ấy. You can predict some clashes that may happen. I think you can totally do that. Like you can just guess what the other side might say. And number 2, you can think about how you can extend your case. So how can you further explain your team's argument? Because even though you cannot provide new argument, but you can further explain it. So how can you do that? You can think this in the prep time. Now, this is the most important part. During the debate, you have to listen carefully to the other side's arguments and case. And you can also see if the clashes that you have prepared is similar. I think 90% it is similar. If it's not, that's fine. You can just, use what you have prepared and you can think about the clashes. You have to listen to the other side's argument and case and see what are the clashes that might happen. And number 4 is that you just, finish up your speech. Yeah. So that's what you do as a third speaker to provide the clashes. Okay, so yeah, after we have learned, this is the structure. Firstly, we do have intro. Intro can be anything. We can be very creative, so there's no limits. Number 2, you can provide clarification if needed. Tức là nếu bên kia hiểu sai cái ý của bên mình ấy, thì mình có thể tự làm rõ lại. Yeah, if the other side doesn't really get it, you can just clarify some misunderstanding. So you do this in number 2. And then number 3 is just rebuttal. So you just rebut the person before you. Yeah, you rebuild. You just rebut the person who have spoken before you. And the most important part that you should spend the most time on is the clashes. Okay, so those are, 5 steps. Firstly, you signpost. You say the first clash is, the second clash is, the third clash is. And then you just explain why are these clashes important. Like you say, oh, this is important because this is the clash that both sides are arguing. And then what you do is that you just compare the affirmative and negative arguments. You can say, okay, on the clash, our side say this. The other side said this. The other side is false because. And then you explain why your side wins the clash. And then you continue to the next. Normally, there will be 2 clash or 3, but 3 is a bit too much. I think 2 is okay, or 3. And then you conclude. So yeah, this is the structure of a third speaker speech. The clash is the most important part. So more on this, right? Here, you can this is like a template that you can use. You can say the first clash is about this clash. They said what they said was wrong because on this clash we said what we said was right because. And due to this reason, we win this clash. We take this clash. So yeah, this is like how you can say it if you are in a debate, which we will have one next week or the next week. I think next week, if you guys want, up to you. Okay. So yeah, that's it really. And yeah, I think that's everything for third speaker. Do you guys have any question before we move to the practice? Okay, I think no questions. Yeah, in practice, we will understand more. I think so. Okay, it's really simple what you guys do. You choose a side, you make one argument, you make one preemption, and then you identify the clashes that may come up. You explain how your side may win, and if there's any trade-off. Only if, okay? Not necessarily all the time. So now we can choose a debate motion. The first person to send in the topic, I will choose a motion on that topic. Yeah, the fastest person in the chat, I think. So if you send it fastest, I will choose a motion on that topic. Oh, okay. So I will send one. Yeah, sure, we can do this. There will be a definition, so others don't have to worry because I already said the fastest goes first. Okay, you guys can relax for 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, relax a little, and then I will send the motion. I already got the motion. Actually, collectivism and individualism is not that hard because I can totally choose like the one that is simple enough. Okay? So this one I think everyone can understand. Here. Yeah, it's on the screen. This house believes that people should choose careers based on family expectation rather than personal passion. So family expectation is collectivism and personal is individualism, basically. But yeah, you don't need to worry about the two words in the chat. Just look on the screen. That's all you need. Do you have any question on, oh, what's happening? Do you have any question on this motion? If you don't understand any words. I think it's better if I divide the class into two teams so we will be equal and we can look at all sides. So how many people are there? There are 11. So Yeah, 6 people on affirmative and 5 on negative. Okay. I'm just gonna do this randomly. So first, I will go from down to up, I think. Affirmative is Jade, Tone. You guys will be on the same team. I would create teams this time so you guys can like work with each other. That's better. Unfortunately, there will be one person cannot work in a team because we have 11. So who wants to work alone? If you work alone, you can choose your side, I believe, if you want. Okay, Sarah, sure. So Sarah, which side do you want?
I want proposition, please.
Okay, so Sarah will be on affirmative. And then Sunny and Haling, you guys will be on affirmative. So this is the team for affirmative, and now I will put the teams for negative. Neo and Hui. That's one team, and then Lee and Iris. And one more team, which is Jade and who? And Hun. Yeah. Okay, those are the teams. I will stop share a bit. You guys will have like 10 to 15 minutes because you're working in a team. You can divide, right? You can divide who will speak which. I will not divide, like it's up to you guys who will deliver what point. I will send the slides later. But yeah, just create breakout rooms. How many? 5 rooms. Sarah, you can just stay here, I guess. Oh yeah, there's still Tom. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so my teammate is on both sides.
Oh,
And I'm
so who
wondering
hasn't?
which
Yeah.
room is he
Oh
in?
yeah, there's still Helena. So Helena and Hun, you guys will be with each other. Why didn't you tell me? Okay, problem solved. Yeah, good. I already opened the room. You guys can choose the room according to the table. So for example, Jade and Tom, room 1, Sunny Haling, room 2, Neo Hui, room 3, Lee Iris, room 4, and Helena Hun, room 5. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I will send the slides in the group so you guys can look at it while preparing. For those, Sarah, Jade, oh, Sarah is still here. So Jade, Helena, Hui, and Iris, you guys can join in your breakout rooms. If you cannot, I can help you.
Wait, I don't know what is my breakout rooms. Sorry.
So you're Hui, so you're in room 3.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And then Jade, you should join your room 1 with Tom. I will assign you there. Jade, are you there? Are you in your room yet? Oh, he's not answering. Jade is not here. Oh, Jade is here. Okay, you guys can talk to each other now, I think.
You think? Wow, that's nice.
more.
I think everyone is back. So I will spin the wheel, and today we will have a time limit. So I think the time limit I will put is 4 minutes for each team, which means you guys will just speak for four, and it's up to you how you spend that time. Okay? Okay, so team five. Oh, it's Lee and Iris. So you guys can begin first and turn on your camera, I guess. You can just tell me when you're ready so I can start the timer. Like you can say, my speech will start in three, two, one, or you can just start and I will just press start. Okay, we will start first. So, yeah, sure.
Yes, about my argument, I think that the most important thing is self-relevant. So my main point, choosing careers based on personal passion encourage self-reliance because individuals must trust their own decisions and take responsibility for the consequence of their choice after everything. So about the context, nowadays many young people want freedom in choosing their future careers instead of follow their family expectations. However, this might brings benefits such as uh, sorry, although this can bring such as happiness and motivation, it also means that they can't depend on their parents when difficulties happened. So when people choose careers based on their own passion, they understand the succeed and the value depends on themselves. As a result, they become more independent, responsible, and maybe they will more mature. This argument works because individuals are more likely to work seriously when they know they personally made their decisions. They develop problem solving skills instead of blaming their parents or society for the outcomes. So if the argument is true, society might produce more confident and independent adults who are capable of making important life decisions on their own. So about the preemptions, the affirmative might say that choose careers based on personal passion when they still young, they may choose unrealistic careers and regret them later. Even if some young people make wrong decisions, experience failures, and taking responsible are important parts of being growth. So parents can still give advice without controlling their career choices. That's why allowing individuals to follow their passion doesn't mean that rejecting family support completely. So the next part is Iris.
Okay, so I will give it a faster. Okay, class one, we will have to deal with the trade-off between financial stability or the long-term fulfillment. In the government's world, people can gain financial security and a lower risk of unemployment and also families can feel reassured uh, because the children follow a more predictable career path. However, in our world, we believe that in this world, people can choose careers that match their interests and strengths. They will be more motivated, productive. When face challenges, this also leads to better long-term career success and also higher job satisfaction. We believe that it is more important even if some careers are initially less stable, individuals who enjoy their work are more likely to improve, remain committed, and eventually can achieve both success and financial stability. The next one, we need to deal with the trade-off between family responsibility or personal autonomy. In the government's world, they believe that parents can feel respected and families may experience less conflict in the short term because the children can follow parental expectation. However, in our world, we believe that in this world, children can build careers that suit their abilities and also their desire. Parents may ultimately benefit from having children who are happier, more successful, and financially independent from them. Family relationships may become healthier because success comes from mutual understanding rather than any obligation. We believe that it benefits more in our world to the children and also the parents. Outside will protect the child's entire future. It is about the long-term goal of their life, about their job satisfaction. They will be more autonomous from their parents and can do what they truly want, can be who they want to be. And that is all of our arguments, our clash, and some trade-offs. Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you, Team 5. That was really good and really detailed as well. I think I'll provide feedbacks to all of you in written, so I will send it after. Okay. Yeah, you guys can go up to 5 minutes, which is fine. I think 4 to 5 minutes for the other teams. All right, so next off here. Okay, it's team 3, and team 3 is Sunny and Ha-Ling. So you guys can go now.
Yeah, so I start first. So I may start my speech now. Greetings everyone. My name is Sunny, and today I will talk about this topic that this habit believes that people should choose their careers based on family expectations rather than personal aspiration. So first of all, let's look at it like a general view. So many people's like especially young teenagers that they all follow their personal passion, their personal favorites jobs, and like is lead to they will become bored easily and they will not stick to that job, and they not follow it properly. And then if it's happen like in a long term, it will give them a lower employment. And I think that young teenagers should listen to their families, or I can also say parents, because they are adults, so they obviously have more in real life experience, so they can they can give them advice, a lot of useful advice. If they don't listen to them and listen to themselves by choosing another job, I think that they will choose like a risky decision, which is lead them to go to the wrong direction and gave them a lot of consequences. For example, the income will be very unstable, and if is that just become every day, so they will like being more anxious, depressed, and even worse, they will commit suicide. So the impact here that if they listen to their family expectation, their family like choice expectation, they will decrease the lower employment. That means that they will got more um helpful opportunities in the future, and also they can connect a stronger bond with their family. Thank you. Now is Lee's turn.
Okay, so now I talk about my team's preemption. Like each individual knows like their selves themselves better than their parents, which and whatever about interests or talents or something. But I think that does not mean like they understand the real circumstances of a career. They should follow their parents because they have more like work experience as well the knowledge of some trends, and also can provide them like good job stability. Our teams one and only clash is if they follow families' decisions. Uh, can they like fulfill their passion? So our team, my team will say that passion, it can be denied that passion can like offer them motivation or happiness while doing this like their favorite job. But I think their like family's decision can provide stability as well as sustainable success, because passion does not guarantee long-term income or like happiness for a long period. So I think our team take this clash. So yeah, thank you for listening.
All right, thank you, Team 3. That was really good as well. I really happy that you guys understand clashes. Okay, next team. All right, Team 2. I think it is Sarah. So Sarah, you can begin.
So follow your passions. Like it is literally everywhere in your posters, graduation speeches, or inspirational Instagram posts. We've we obviously have been told quite many times that finding that one thing we love is the secret to a meaningful life, and that once we find it, everything else will just fall into place. But let's be honest, that advice sounds great in theory, but it is terrible in the practice. Because here's the thing, passion is not a plan, it's just a feeling, and feelings change. What you're obsessed with at 18 may not pay your rent at 25, and let's support a family, let alone like supporting a family at 40. So passion is just like a fire. It can light you up, sure. It can also burn out fast, leaving you with nothing but smoke and regret. We're not here to say that passion is bad. We're not saying that you should not have hobbies, interests, or things that excite you. We're saying what we're saying is that basing your career and future on a feeling is reckless. When you have a family, people who have invested in you, who know you and who wants the best for you, ignoring the guidance is not brave, it's naive. So choosing a career path with your family's expectation in mind is not selling out. It's just like growing up. And that's what the affirmative teams is proving today. Just think about who you were in 5 years, the music you loved, the things you wanted to be. Are they going to still be the same? For most of us, no. We evolve and our priorities shift, and that is totally normal. So why should we anchor a 40-year career to a feeling we had as a teenager? When people tell you to follow your heart, they're asking you to gamble with your future. What happens when your passion fades? It almost always does, because but you're stuck with a field with students, debt. So what happens when the thing you once loved becomes a grind because now you have to do it to survive? And that is not fulfillment. the true burnout. It happens every day to people who thought passion alone would carry them through. So now I can already expect that the opposition may say that about may picture a miserable accountant who always wanted to be an artist, or maybe a doctor who secretly dreams to be a musician. They will all say that we're killing dreams and forcing people into cages. But think about it. Because professional fulfillment does not only come from doing what you love, it comes from doing what you're good at. And being rewarded for it, it comes from stability of knowing you can from knowing that you can support yourself and the people you care about. It comes from the mastery, respect, and security. So, here's the real question. What does a successful life actually look like? Some people think it is about individualism, doing whatever makes you happy in the moment. We think it is about resilience, about something that actually lasts. When you align your career with your family's expectations, you're not losing your freedoms, you're gaining a support from the support system, mentorship, a safety net. You're inheriting decades of life experience, not to limit you, but to guide you. So, let's talk about the trade-off. Yes, we admit that choosing the family-backed path might be sacrificing a short-term self-expression. You might not get to chase every whim. You might have to choose the route over the romantic ones. But look at what you get in return. You're trading a preference for long-term security, a passing mood for lasting peace of mind. You're choosing a foundation that has already been built over one you're hoping that will hold. Passion is great for a weekend project, for side hustle, or for something that fuels your time. But for a 40-year career, that needs more than a feeling. That needs structure, support, and wisdom. And that is exactly what your family gives you. So I believe that everyone should trust the foundations that has already proven itself. For that reason, proud to propose. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for your very fine speech. Thanks a lot. So next off, we have four more. Four more? I thought okay, never mind, just spin. All right, team 6 is Helena and Hunt. You guys can begin.
Okay, so I'm the first speaker of Team 5. So I just want to start my speech after 3, 2, and 1. So hello everyone. Today my team firmly opposed to the motions that people should choose their career based on family expectation rather than personal passions. And we believe that while families can offer valuable advice, the final decision should belong to the individuals because they are the ones who will spend decades living with that career. Our main argument is very simple. People are more successful and happier when they choose a career they genuinely care about. A career is not just a way to earn money, it is something people devote thousands of hours to throughout their life. If someone is forced into a career that they do not enjoy simply to satisfy their family, they are more likely to lose motivation, perform poorly, and eventually burn out. Just imagine a student who dreams of becoming a teacher but is pressured by their parents to study medicine. They may become a doctor, but every day they go to work feeling exhausted and unfulfilled. And compare that with someone who truly loves teaching. They work harder, mm, continue improving, and positively impact their students because they genuinely enjoy what they are doing. And the passions create commitment. Commitment creates excellence. Excellence often leads to success. So government, the argumentative team may argue that parents know better because they have more experience, but we agree that parents have a global life experience. However, experience does not mean that they know what is the best for every individual. Parents cannot fully understand their child's interests, strengths, or ambitions. Sometimes they encourage career based on prestige, income, or their own unrealized dreams that rather than what their child is actually suited for. And the world is changing rapidly. The careers that were considered risky 10 years ago, such as software development, content creator, game design, or digital marketing, has become successful profession today. If young people only follow traditional family expectations, there will be many new industries would never have grown. And the affirmative team also claimed that following a family expectation provides financial stability, but stability without satisfaction is not the true success. Someone who dislikes their work may earn a good salary but experience stress, poor mental health, and burnout. But on the other hand, the people who pursue careers that they love and are often willing to work harder, learn more, and adapt when challenges arise. Over time, that passion can also lead to financial success. And we are not saying that people should ignore their families. Parents should absolutely give advice, share their experience, and discuss career options. But advice is different from deciding someone's future. And at the end of the day, the person who lives the career should choose the career. So, for all of the reasons, we proudly oppose this motion. Thank you for listening to me.
So the core of this debate boils down to one fundamental question: who should have the final say over an individual's future? First, let's look at the financial stability versus personal fulfillment. The government argues that following family expectation guarantees a stable income. However, financial stability alone cannot guarantee a satisfying career. When people dislike their jobs, they lose motivations, perform poorly, and also ultimately quit. In contrast, choosing a career that matches your passion unlocks long-term motivation, leading to a better performance, sustainable success, and also final stability in long run. Secondly, regard parental authority versus individual autonomy. Parents do have valuable experience, but they can never fully understand others' person's unique interests, talents, or dreams. Therefore, we willingly accept this trade-off. Choosing a passion-based career may involve greater uncertainty or financial risk in short term, but this risk is entirely worth it because in exchange, the individual gains autonomy, long-term happiness, and stronger motivation. A minor, temporary financial risk is a reasonable price to pay for greater personal fulfillment. Ultimately, the individual is the one who will wake up every single morning to do this job. They are the one who will bear the heavy weight of this career, and they must live with the consequence of this decision every single day. So if you are the one who bears the consequence, you must be the one who holds the right to choose. So for a future built on autonomy, sustainable success, and genuine happiness, we strongly oppose this opinion. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, teams. Very good job. We have two teams left. So I think today will only be 10-minute overtime, which is a very big improvement. Okay. All right, team one, which is Jade and Tong. You guys can begin now.
Right, so in my opinion, I think people should prioritize family expectations over personal passion when choosing a career. Because Personal passions are risk uh, are often high risk and don't guarantee um, a stability in finance. Family expectations are, however, are usually practical realities so that the child can rely on their experiences to choose their careers, leading to a higher probability of financial stability, and also reduces the risk of career failure. And I think I'll leave the rest to my teammate, which is Jade.
Jade, you can start.
So, the opposition might say that when we follow our own passion, then we will know what is best for us own good, because we live our own life, and maybe our parents wouldn't know what we are good and best at. They would say that choosing their own passion would be the best way, the best gamble for their career. But my opinion, the parents, have much more experience in life and are often overlooked by the younger generation. So when the seniors offer advice, it is usually more accurate and better for them just to listen. So between a gamble of goodness and of accuracy, and also a gamble that is not 100% that you will succeed following your passion, then I think it's much better to follow the senior to get a more secure way path of career.
Thank you. And finally, we have team 4. So, yeah, go ahead, team 4.
I think who are gonna be first?
Okay, so you can speak first.
Okay. So my speech will start in 3, 2, 1. Choosing careers based on personal passion rather than family expectations ensures individuals are motivated, creative, and resilient in the long run. Nowadays, many people pushed into careers by family pressure often face burnout, resentment, or lack of fulfillment, while those who follow their passions align their work with personal strengths and values. Our argument mechanism is clear. Passion fuels perseverance. So when challenges arise, individuals are more likely to innovate and excel if they genuinely care about their work. The impact we have here is profound. Passion driven careers lead to happier individuals. healthier mental states, and stronger communities. Since fulfilled people contribute positively both professionally and personally. Now I'd like to provide my preemption. Supporters of family expectations may argue that such choices ensure stability, financial security, or uphold tradition. However, stability without fulfillment often leads to unhappiness, disengagement. In fact, passion-driven careers can also achieve financial success, as motivated individuals tend to work harder and create opportunities. Thus, prioritizing passion does not mean rejecting family values. It means aligning personal drive with professional growth, and which ultimately benefits both the individual and the family. Thank you. Now Neil will present the remaining parts.
Okay, so the first clash of our team is that short-term stability or long-term fulfillment, which one is more important? In our side, if when we choose the job that our families want, at first it's gonna be short-term stability, but after that we have no motivation. We are burnt out and we fail. We cannot do this anymore, and we waste a lot of time doing the job that we don't like. Second clash is who will decide the future of a persons. Of course, parents can navigate people or children, but they cannot be the one who decide the future for children and persons. Each each futures of the persons, they have to decide for themselves. Nobody can decide their future for them. Ultimately, society need workers that work for their passions, or the workers work for the obligations. Of course, is work for the passions. Passions is a really important and vital motivations for us. Without motivations, we cannot do anything. With motivations, we can make a passions become true. Like to make a dream become reality. Let's take an example of Elon Musk. When he was a child, or when he grew up, he always think that how to make a big change for the world, like to go on Mars, to create his own rocket company, and with the motivations, with the discipline, with the sacrifice, now he can do it, and this is reality. And I think more years further, people can travel to Mars. And about trade-off, at first you may fail. Of course, if you have passions, there's a high rate that you can fail. But at least you have motivations, and each failure you learn the lessons and you stand up again, and you will make it become bigger and bigger, and then you make it big. And secondly, a lot of your families will disagree about that you chase your passions, because like follow what they navigate. You will have like stable family, stable salary, but it's not about long-term happiness. And if you choose to chase out your passions, uh, this is the long-term happiness, the true happiness, and you will be blunt with yourself. And like Steve Jobs once said, that the only ways to do great work is to love what you do. If you don't love what you don't have you don't passionate what you do, you cannot do everything well and effectively. That is our arguments. Thank you.
Right. Thank you a lot, everyone who have been participating today. So, yep, we were supposed to be learning this one as well, which is the weighing part, a bit similar to clashes, but I think we still have a lot of time, so we will save it for another time. And then next week, we will be having a debate match, but we'll see. Okay, now just a practice one, because we will be learning for 12 weeks. So I think that week 6 and week 12 will be debate day. But yeah, that's my plan. Now everyone, you guys can turn on your camera and we'll take a quick picture and you guys can leave. Okay. Waiting for Sunny, Hui, and Jade if possible. I don't know why, Jade. Your mom always tells me that you're gonna be busy, and then you're always here. That's weird. Okay, so I'm gonna count 1 to 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, thank you guys. I just took it. Okay, thank you everyone for today. See you.